Subscribe onlangs als ik al langs en live dat doe je dan en again en kan je doen. En deze wil dat gaan de crazy onlangs options en Cyberpunk 2077. En het de ogenlijke je hebt de optie to onlangs spreken als Losslaand aan zo'n oorlogsstof en wil je kan onlangs doen. Don't forget to subscribe and like us start in the video.
Cyberpunk 2077 has a plethora of romance options.
Yeah, you can
and
say
there's
that.
really a lot in here. So sit back, relax.
Oh, and you can onlangs aan grocery.
The first thing I want to say is that a lot of these are going to be life path dependent. You'll be able to meet every character regardless of your life path, for the most part at least. Obviously, we can't 100% confirm that without the game being out, but for the most part, you can meet all the characters, but you can only romance them if you have some of the correct prerequisites. And that is to say, sometimes people are only gonna like bad boys. So if you're not a street kid, you're not gonna be able to romance that person. And yes, the game really does go that deep. Everything from your
I can also remember that City is only into girls is online. I have heard they then saying that I can't remember, I think so.
Your voice slider to the way you dress is going to have an impact on how people see you, and in turn, what NPCs will actually think of you, and how they'll react to you. For instance, and this is not confirmed, but I'm guessing this is what CDPR is alluding to, if you are supposed to be a street kid bad boy and you're running around wearing suits, you'll probably have a hard time building relationships with other street kids, or at least with people who are supposed to like street kids. Now, the first person I can use as an example for this is actually the one that it looks like everybody wants to romance, Judy Alvarez. So for starters, you do have to be a street kid to have any sort of a chance with Judy. You'll meet her regardless of whether or not you're a street kid, but only if you're a street kid will you have any chance with our resident brain dance specialist. Now, on top of that, and I do want to stress here, this is not officially confirmed, but it is widely speculated because of a few comments somebody made after a 16-hour play session. A lucky motherfucker. And what they said
Well, I think I got what he was saying. I want to say the same thing. Looking at the sucker.
They played as male V, and that no matter what they did, Judy wasn't interested. So what that leads me to believe is that NPCs are going to have preferences for different genders the same way people in real life do. And I guarantee you there's going to be people you can romance that do have preferences and people that don't. Like, especially when you go to the red light district and pay to have a good time, I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter what you've got going on. But apparently to somebody like Judy, what you've got going on in your trousers is very important. Did I just say trousers? Now, the next thing I wanted to get into...
Oh, shit. I'm dying. I'm dying. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. But that's what I said to you guys earlier in the video. I think she's only interested in women, Julie. So, if she wants to success, you need to be a woman.
To here is the fact that there is not a progress bar and there's not a surefire way to get somebody to like you. So say you choose female V as a street kid and you're trying to romance Judy, you won't know if you're making progress except for by trying to read between the lines of subtext. There's not going to be a bar, there's not an everyone disliked that feature, there's nothing like that. So you have to play it by ear and see how she reacts and work with her like she's a real life person. And I will continue on that point, but I want to stop for a second here and say, how cool is that we are at a point with video games where the romance system is almost as robust as an actual romance. You have to...
That's kind of crazy though. I understand it. I really should understand it, but it's also so crazy that I don't know, it's kind of scary that this is a thing. But yeah, I'm curious how you will eventually know if somebody is going to like you or not, because he just said you don't know that really. Yeah, it's not what they are going to say to you. If they are really talking to you, then I don't think so. If they're talking all like in a romance kind of style, yeah, then, yeah. You just have to wait and see.
Read between the lines, say the right things. Granted, somebody already wrote the lines for you, but you can't just pick nice option, nice option, nice option,
Yeah.
nice option, and get a romance out of it. That's
True.
not how Cyberpunk 2077 works. There's actual complexities, and I think people will be surprised when the game comes out because I don't think any other game has done this well.
I don't
at
think
all.
so.
Especially because you can't just walk up to somebody and run around them in circles without talking to them. It starts the conversation. You don't have to walk up and press X. You just walk up. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about here is the fact that we don't know if you can romance every NPC. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you probably can't. So CD Projekt Red is...
Yeah, I thought to say, I don't think you can romance everybody. I think you can only romance the more important people, like Judy and the corporate girl, I can't remember the name, but the more important people. Really,
NPC. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you probably can't. So CD Projekt Red is putting a lot of emphasis on the romance and a lot of effort into making sure that people from different life paths have different life partners available to them. So I don't know if you're going to be able to romance every NPC on the street or just select NPCs that CDPR has made a narrative for. We do have a quote that I'm gonna read to you now that is from a lead quest designer at CDPR when asked about romances. So in terms of romances, it's going to be similar to how The Witcher 3 was. There was whole plot lines regarding character, and that if NPCs were treated well and interested in Geralt, something was happening. So here it's going to be very similar, and of course players will have way more options than only heterosexual as it was in The Witcher 3, because Geralt was a defined character, and in Cyberpunk 2077, it's your story. He follows up by saying here you can define what type of interaction your character prefers and have a relationship with that NPC/NPCs. And what I really want to hone in on there is NPCs. I think you're going to be able to cheat on your virtual girlfriend or boyfriend. And I think there is a couple of these paths that will collide. I think Cyberpunk 2077 is going to surprise a lot of people with this, because I can totally see a world where you've got a girlfriend who's a corpo, and then you can also have a street girlfriend, and I 100% guarantee you'll get a cutscene where they both show up to your apartment at the same time. Obviously, none of this is officially confirmed.
That really is fucking awesome. That really is so funny.
The only thing I'm inferring that based off of is him saying NPCs, but you wouldn't say NPCs unless you meant multiple at once, because you would just say with that NPC. So to me, he's basically just confirmed infidelity inside of Cyberpunk 2077. So not only do you have to read between the lines for subtext to actually get somebody to like you, and you have to say the right things, but you can also cheat on them. I mean, what? This game, man. This game. Last but not least here, I did want to mention, I've seen some people suggesting that you could romance Jackie. I don't think that's the case. If I were to hazard a guess, it would be that you could romance his wife after, you know? But that remains to be seen, so we'll see if that happens. But right now, the only actual two confirmed characters that you can romance are Meredith Stout, the corporate girl from the trailers, and Judy Alvarez, the brain dance expert. So yeah, out of the entire game, we only have 2 confirmed people. If you see anyone on YouTube saying that there's more people confirmed, it's either a joke or it's just not true. So let me know in the comment section down below what you're most excited for in terms of romance for Cyberpunk 2077. I know for me, I'm really interested in the romance options that come up later in the story that would have been locked off if I hadn't made a certain decision. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be people that you would only meet if you chose to kill so-and-so, and my hope is that we're going to be able to romance some of those people. So not only would there be romance options that are specific to life paths, but also ones that are specific to choices and quote-unquote moral codes. So a really good version of V, who didn't kill 5 or 6 key people, meets this person, and that person is romanceable. Something like that is my greatest hope. But let me know in the comment section down below what you've got.
So, okay, this is really interesting. I'm really curious about how realistic this game is going to be with life, with people around you, with romance options. I want to see how realistic this game is going to be. But yeah, I hope you like the video. Let me know what you think about the romance options in Cyberpunk 2077. And I haven't done this enough, but I really want to thank you guys for all your lovely support and all your lovely comments. I look at 6 comments on the screen right now because I really want to thank you guys for all the live support and the lovely reactions that you left on this video. If you want your reaction in this video, leave a silly or a nice comment down below and I will definitely put longer for you guys in the next video. And I want to also say thank you for all the people that have subscribed to my channel. The last 6 days it was pretty amazing. The how many new people subscribed to this channel, it was fantastic to see how many people lost the videos for English. It really motivates me to keep making more and more awesome Cyberpunk videos and much more these coming years. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content from me. I want to make the best content that I can possibly make for you guys, and I hope to see all you beautiful people in the next video. Yeah.